What scares you guys the most, or you personally?
Oh, nothing. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah, it's like damn.
um, our procedures in the area I work in are incredible. Our company really, really focuses on safety. So you will hear in some areas linemen talk about backfeed. It can be a very scary thing. If a generator is improperly hooked up, that can go reverse through a transformer and actually step the voltage up from 120 to full line voltage. And it can be lethal to a lineman that's working up on the lines. A very scary situation. Me personally, I wouldn't say I'm scared of that because our procedures protect us from that. So anytime I'm working on the lines, always, regardless of how simple the job is, we follow our procedures for grounding and bonding. If we're working right on the high side bushing of a transformer, we'll actually disconnect the secondary leads or short them out. Plus, we have our rubber gloves that are insulated for 20,000 volts. So it's a situation that with procedures can be very well controlled. One of the things that scares me the most is actually traffic. And there's been some very, very serious incidents. There's been a few losses of life within the last few years related to traffic, where traffic was controlled. There was flag personnel, signage, and somebody going down the road blows through a stop sign because they were texting, or even if it's a medical emergency, somebody could have a heart attack while driving and come right through your work site. That's a hazard that's very difficult to control. I get nervous when I'm working on a 4-lane street. We have our flag personnel on site. Sometimes the public can get pretty cranky and start rushing around. We have people intentionally, even, I don't know if I want to use the word assault the traffic personnel, but they'll go through the signs. I was at a job just yesterday and I was previewing the job site. It was with our Department of Transportation. The road was completely shut down. There was a concrete barrier in the middle of the road, said road is shut down. And a member of the public sped through the job site and hit the inspector that works for the Department of Transportation. They had it on video and it just cartwheeled the guy.
Wild.
Yeah. He wasn't seriously injured, but they did have to take him to a hospital in an ambulance. And that happened 5 minutes after I left the job site. That's the kind of thing that I'm very cautious of. Another big hazard is the tension. The lines, especially communication lines that you're working around, there could be thousands of pounds of tension. And while you're working away, you do your best to inspect adjacent structures, structure you're working on, keep yourself out of the line of fire if you're working on the inside of a corner or something. But there can certainly be mechanical failures. Whatever's holding that line might let go at any time just because you're shaking the pole around. That's another big hazard is the high tension of everything. Interestingly enough, when people ask me this question, I very rarely refer back to electrical stuff. Typically, it's thought that that's the biggest hazard of our job is working with electricity. We have very good controls in place with our procedures to protect us from those hazards. But you do have to respect electricity 100%. You can't get complacent with it.
Well, yeah, you're right. It's everybody else, right? Like leaving for a storm, and like when we go do, snow removal, not as sketchy as what you do, trust me, but like driving to site is always the worst part, right? In a snowstorm, right? Because you can't predict what other people are going to do. Like driving down the road is a really dangerous thing.